Hey, we're live. Finally, we are here. Hey, I'm your girl, Kiki Ramsey, and I am so excited to be here. What's interesting is this topic is very fitting because I'm a little late getting on because I have been human. So, we're going to be talking about giving yourself permission to actually be human. And man, I, I I took a break from coaching calls. I went downstairs to grab some quick lunch before this session and before my next call with him. And for some reason, I unplugged or didn't realize that my computer was plugged up. And if you have something to, yeah, I didn't realize that my computer was plugged up, wasn't plugged up. And so I got back upstairs right in time for this session. However, um, I had to reboot my computer. So that was the first thing. And then, so in the process of rebooting my computer, getting my camera together, my cord came out of the computer and I had to reboot again. I tell you, trying to keep this thing all together is interesting to say the least. And so I really wanted to talk about that. And if you are here for the first time, welcome. I'm Kiki Ramsey. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and hit the like bell and the notification button and all that good stuff because I just want to be able to hashtag help people stay positive during this whole COVID-19 thing. And if you are here, I would love for you to say something to me in the chat. Let me know that you're here and where you're tuning in from, and or leave me a question or something like that. So we're talking about giving yourself permission to be human. And the reason why I say permission is because a lot of times we do not give ourselves permission to just be human. We think that we have to keep it all together. I'll give you a prime example with being a coach, and anyone in kind of like the helping space, like therapists and stuff like that, a lot of times people think we have it all together, that we don't have challenges, that we don't have problems. And that's just not true. I see it in the religious space as well when we're talking about preachers and stuff. A lot of times when it comes to preachers, people think that they're supposed to be absolutely perfect and they can't sin or they don't sin. And that's not true either. But I think it's like that because we hold these people in higher standards, and we just look a certain way. Well, I'm here to tell you, although I'm a coach, I still have issues and I'm still sad. As a matter of fact, last night I was just like, man, I've been working in terms of coaching, and I'm just tired. I'm tired. I don't get to do a lot of watching TV and stuff like that. Even during this time, I still haven't got to watch a lot of TV. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna veg out. I got me a glass of wine and I found something funny on television and I just laughed until it was time for me to go to bed. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Like sometimes we just have to do that. And so I know that if you are still working, or if you have your kids at home, or something like that, like you're probably quite a bit stressed out. There are some people who are not necessarily as stressed because they don't have the pressures of children or work on their shoulders, or school. Like you might be doing something like school, bettering yourself, reading something, some kind of program. And if that's the case, then you probably are a little bit stressed. And if you mess up, then you are beating yourself up. Well, I'm here to tell you and me to give yourself permission to be human. We are only human. None of us is meant to be perfect. And as a matter of fact, perfect doesn't even exist. Like I think that word is used like I just want it to be perfect. I mean, perfect is subjective, right? What's perfect for you may not be perfect for me and may not be perfect for the next person. That's why everybody has their own opinions. Like you can do something, you can do a report, you can complete a report, and you might think the report is perfect. Like there are no mistakes and stuff like that. But when you send that report to your boss, that boss may come back and say, yeah, I found a couple mistakes. I didn't understand when you explained this. You need to tweak this. You need to change this. And you might say to yourself, well, daggone, I thought this thing was perfect. That's because perfect does not exist. Perfect is very much in the eye of the spectator. And so, when it pertains to yourself being perfect, you have to tell yourself that good enough is good enough. I love that whole saying. Good enough is good enough, because a lot of times we don't do something unless it's good, unless it's perfect. So then, if you subscribe to the good enough is good enough, it means you're able to kind of push it out, even though it may not be perfect, and that's okay. So if you are feeling like you are that person who has had to keep everything together, like you might be the only one that's working in your household. You might be the only one that's taking care of the kids. You might be the only one that's cleaning up right now. I know that I had my whole house cleaning this weekend, because guess what? I can't do it every day. We cannot do it every day. I mean, my kids' play area, aka the living room, their toys are everywhere. And yeah, I try to remember to ask them to pick them up in the middle of the night. Now my kids are 2 and 16 months, so you know how good that goes, right? But every night I don't get to. And so sometimes I wake up, guess what? It looks the same way it did when we went to bed, and that's okay. I've had to learn how to let certain things that I'm anal about go, and learn that good enough is just good enough, because that staying messy allows me to be sane from not having to think that everything has to be clean. So if that's you and you think that everything has to be perfect, and or if you feel that you are the one that's holding it all together, I want to say give yourself permission to be human. But I do have a couple of tips that I think will help you. Now, when it comes to giving yourself permission, I want you to first allow yourself to feel, um, and be sad, be angry, whatever it is. A lot of times we are very apt to push away our feelings, right? It's sometimes it's the first thing that we do, because who wants to feel sad and icky and all of that? Nobody really wants to feel that. Like, I know I don't. I want to push those things away right away. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. When you push them away, you don't learn how to then manage them, right? Because feelings and emotions are a very big part of our lives. Like, we all feel, we all have emotions. It's just a part of life. And so if you push it away and you suppress it and you stuff it down and you stuff it down, then you actually never learn how to deal with it. And then you also never learn how to just be, right? Just be. I love the whole practice of mindfulness. And mindfulness is basically being in the moment, being in this moment right here. And, but it's being in the moment, non judgmental, right? Non judgmental. So when you push those feelings away, you don't learn how to actually manage them. And so what I want you to do is be able to feel them. It's okay. So even though you're feeling sad, feel what sad, feels like. And then learn how to just watch the sadness float on by. Because at some point it'll go away if you really focus on not judging what's happening in your moment. And I know that can be a difficult thing to do. An email might pop up. You might have 50 meetings back to back. But if you can practice non-judgmental about how you feel about all those meetings or anything else that pops up in your life, then you can watch those emotions float on by versus pushing them away and not learning how to manage with them. Um, the next thing is, I want you to ask for help and be honest with people about what you're feeling. I mean, for me to be able to do this, I had to ask my sister for help. For me to be able to work on a daily basis in terms of coaching, I had to ask my sister for help with the kids, because I couldn't do it all by myself. My husband's also working, and so that's really difficult to be able to manage, and I know so many families who are managing it. And I mean, we're all like just trying to figure this thing out, right? But I had to ask her for help on most days because I have calls and I have all these things to do. I have homework. I have even homework tonight. But I had to ask for help. And you have to be honest, because here's the thing: if you don't tell people, your bosses, any of that, what you're going through and what you're feeling, how are they supposed to help you? You can't think that they know what you're going through. You can't, it's not fair for you to say they should know what I'm going through. No, they shouldn't. You need to put your big girl panties on and tell them what's going on with you so that you can get the support and the help that you need. I couldn't do this without my sister helping us with the kids. I couldn't. I had to put my big girl panties on and I had to ask her. And of course, she had no problems with it, but I had to ask, right? You need to ask. You need to be honest about what's going on with you. If the workload is too much, say so, right? You have to be able to say so. Like I'm saying that if you don't tell people what's going on with you, they just won't know. And so I definitely want you to be able to do that. Another one is stop pretending that everything's okay. If it's not okay, I'm not saying for you to be like, oh my God, this is terrible, blah, blah, blah. Give yourself a moment to be human. Stop pretending that every single thing is okay. It doesn't always have to be okay. Like I said, for me, last night, for the most part, I'm pretty positive, and I know that this thing is going to end. And I truly and I still believe that this thing is going to end because it is. We just don't necessarily know exactly when, but it's going to end. And life is going to get back. We don't know what the new normal is going to be, but it's going to get back, right? But I was just still like, oh gosh, you know, like mourning the loss of just everything that I used to do. I'm an extrovert. And so if you might have seen a lot of these memes on social media, like extroverts be pulling out their hair, introverts right now are probably like, oh my God, this is heaven. That kind of thing. I love getting out. I love doing things. I love being active. And although I'm still active right now in terms of working out, going on walks with my kids and stuff like that, going out and doing things, going to restaurants and stuff like that, that ain't none of that happening. And that's a hard thing. So I definitely want you to understand that, I am not pretending to have all the answers and to have it all together all the time, because I don't. I just choose to stay positive, which is the reason why I have chosen to do these lives every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, at least for, like I said, the next month or so that I can help you infuse positivity into your life as well, because we need it. We absolutely need each other, and we need some positivity. Give yourself some downtime, right? So I did that last night. I had my glass of wine and I watched something funny. I don't get to do it all the time, but we need it. I was just even talking to a client today about, taking some time off. It's really hard to do that right now in most jobs, because most people who are still working, they're working a whole lot. So I have another video on really if balance is real during COVID-19. And so you should go ahead and watch that if you haven't. I give out some tips that I think have helped some of my clients and also have helped me. But at the same time, right now, for yourself, even if you don't have time to veg out during like the week and stuff like that, maybe really picking a Saturday or a Sunday and vegging out might help you out a lot. I did it for 2 hours, I think, last night. So I still work all day yesterday, and normally I would work up until the time I go to bed. So I have 2 days. I tell my clients I have 2 days. My first day is from 9 to 4, and that's when I work. And I have a break between 4 and 7 where I spend that time with my kids, bath time, all that kind of stuff. And then I have another break. I have a break between 4 and 7. And then after they go to bed at 7, I start my second day. And normally I'm working from 7 up until 10. And then I normally go to bed about 11. Now I take my lunch break, and so I'm also with my kids then. And so sometimes my lunch break can be longer than sometimes other times, just because it depends on my client's schedule. But I have 2 days. I have the morning day and I have the night day. And for me, I have some goals that I need to get done in the morning, and I have some stuff that I can get done that are after hours things that I'm working on. And so for me, I took some of that time that I would normally spend in my second day. And my second day is normally getting me prepared for my next day or my next couple days, when, newsletters have to go out. I have to, post on social media, just all these different things that I'm doing in the background that most people don't see, but allows my business to continue to run. These are the things that I'm doing in my second day. And so when it pertains to that, I'm literally like, these things have to get done. It's not like I can push them off. They need to get done. So during that second day last night, I said, you know what? I'm tired. I am tired. I am, tired of being in the house. I'm just like tired. And I'm a bit sad. I'm a bit sad. And I had to acknowledge that to myself. And I think that that's something that you should do for yourself as well, because acknowledging it really just gets it out there. And when you don't have to pretend anymore, then it makes life a lot easier to live, right? It makes it a lot easier to live. And guess what? It makes you human. It makes you absolutely freaking human. And so my husband came upstairs and I was like, babe, I'm sad and tired. He was like, yeah, I know. And I am too. So we was both, watched we watched Wild Out with Nick Cannon, because that's always super funny. So we sat there and watched it, and a lot of times Wild Out comes on back to back to back. And I just watched it and laughed and laughed. And then I went to bed. And guess what? I woke up this morning and I was happy again. That's how it is. And I mean, I knew I had a full day ahead of me and stuff like that, but I'm human. You're human. Don't continue to like try to put on this beautiful face and this strong armor. And I know if you have kids, I mean, I know that's the mommy in you. And I get it. If you're married, that might be how you are within your marriage and stuff like that. And I totally get it. But you got to find somebody who you can at least be vulnerable with, right? Like we all have to have that person who we can kind of let down our hair and say, you know what? This sucks. Like this really does suck. And if you can do that, then I think that this time that we're in this whole pandemic can actually be a little bit better. Um, and then the last thing is, give yourself a moment to grieve the loss of the life that you had. If you're feeling the pressure of being the one who does everything and you're feeling the pressure of always being on, give yourself a moment to grieve the loss. Like I know I'm grieving the loss of being able to go out. Like me and my husband, we would go out pretty much every other week, maybe once a month. Like when we didn't have small kids, we went out every single week. But when the kids came along, our date nights were less frequent, but we still made them happen. And we would go to the movies. That's our favorite thing. Our go-to date was going to the movies and dinner. That's our go-to date. And I loved it. Now, yes, we can still do dinner after the kids go to bed and watch a movie. We can still do that. But I love the whole act of getting dressed up and doing all of that stuff. And yeah, I can still do all that. It ain't the same. It's not the same. I don't care what you say. It's not the same. Now, I am looking at ways to still be able to do date night or date day, like go on walks and stuff like that. So that's really, so I am mourning the loss of the life that I had when I could go out and really be able to connect with other people, see people in public places and stuff. And you have to just give yourself a moment to more loss, whatever you feel that you're losing or that you lost. And just, what I am hoping is that it will come back. I know it'll look different, so I'm prepared for that. I'm trying to prepare myself for the way that it'll look when it comes back, but I'm trying to give myself something to look forward to. And I believe in that wholeheartedly, right? But for now, I still have to mourn the loss of what I used to do in the life that I used to live, and how I used to go out and how I like to get dressed up and stuff like that. Feel it, and you will be okay. And so I'm not sure if my connection. So I think the connection may be going in and out, but I'll say that again. Mourn it, feel it, and then try to think about the future in terms of getting back to being able to do some of those things, but also knowing that those things will be a little bit different when they come back to you. When they come back to you. So there you have it. I just wanted to let know that I still feel the same way. I still feel just like you feel. And I want you to give yourself permission to be human, just like I am. Just like I am. Right? Give yourself permission to be human. You do not have to have it all together all the time. It's okay to veg out sometimes and just be okay with being okay. All right. So until next time, thank you so much. Go out and spread a little positivity. Share this video with someone because someone might need it. Also, if you have not already done so, please subscribe to my channel because I'm all about really helping us stay positive and shed our light in the world. Okay. Take care now.